everyone, it's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Thursday morning. It's a coffee kind of morning. I'm back. Thank you everyone for your kind words, your support. I felt I needed a bit of a time off to reflect and to get my thoughts straight and to get my heart straight, as just buried my dad on the weekend previous, and I didn't feel it was appropriate, or I just wasn't in that mind frame to do videos. And I'm struggling today because I'm screwing up my words, I'm jumbling, I'm fumbling. This is the third or fourth time I've done this video, and I just can't seem to get back on track. So I apologize if I feel a little of sorts. But again, thank you for all your kind words, your support, your love, and I love you guys big time. So today I just thought I'd simply show you some great album finds, both used and new, CD and albums, that I picked up over the last little while. Even though I wasn't doing videos, I was still adding to my collection because that's just something that just drives me to do so. And I think I've picked up some pretty darn good stuff to add to my collection. Nothing new as far as new bands. These are additions to my existing discography of bands that I have. Except maybe for one solo album that I don't have any of that other gentleman's. But I do have his band's albums, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's get started. Again, thank you for everyone. Love you all, and again, coffee kind of morning. Drank a lot of those in the last little while. So, to add to my existing Alice Cooper collection, this is Trash. It's a great album. It's so good. So good. This is the 11th album by Alice Cooper. His also his first top 10 single in Poison. This has John McCurry, who played with Julian Lennon on guitar, Hugh McDonald from Bon Jovi on bass, and Bobby Schwinard on drums, and Alan St. John's on keyboards, both who played with Billy Squier. Lots of great artists also played on this one. Like the whole band of Aerosmith played on this one in all their appropriate instruments, including Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, you know, the whole Joey Kramer, the whole shooting match, Brad Whitford. It's kind of cool. John Bon Jovi was also on this one. Kit Winger was on this one. Richie Sambora and Steve Lukather from Toto. So Alice brought the best of the best to this one, and it sounds it. It's really good, really good. This is my fourth album by Whitesnake. This is Slip of the Tongue, another great one. Eighth album by Whitesnake, released in 1989. Top 10 hit right off the bat, and three singles came off of this one: "Fool for Your Lovin'," "The Deeper the Love," "Now You're Gone." Platinum selling album as well. Also features Steve Vai on guitar. Don Airey from Deep Purple is on drum. See, I'm stumbling. Don Airey on keyboards, who has played with so many bands, currently with Deep Purple. And Glenn Hughes, again with Deep Purple at one point in time, on vocals. Love it. It's a great album. So this is the solo artist I was talking about, but I've got quite a few of their discography as a band. This is John Fogerty, Blue Moon Swamp. And that photo wasn't green screened or anything. That's an actual guitar in the swamp, and it took him a couple weeks to dry it out, but it still worked. I think he even took it on tour, if I'm not mistaken. Love the artwork in the booklet there and on the CD, but a great album. Fifth solo album by Mr. Fogerty, released in 1977. Won Grammy for Best Rock Album. A couple of great drummers on this one as well. Kenny Aronoff, great session drummer, and Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers both played drums on this one, as well as a ton of other great artists. So good, so good. After recommendations from Shannon in particular and other people who are into this band, I picked up a Passion Play to add to my Jethro Tull collection and kind of fill a void. I was missing this album here, the 6th album, and what a great album. It's a album released in 1973. Again, their 6th studio album. It's a concept album made up of individual songs arranged in a single theme, basically. And it's so good. It's about a man who recently passed away, Ronnie Pilgrim, who was stuck in the afterlife. And it kind of hit me when I did that, because I didn't want to do this one too soon after my dad's burial. Not that I think he's stuck in the afterlife or anything, but it just kind of hit home. The songs talk about morality and religion and good and evil. It's an amazing album. A really good album. This one, out of all I'm showing you, is probably my hidden gem from a great band who I'm really getting into, and I've got quite a few of their discographies. And this is, again, one of my favorites out of this whole pile of albums I'm going to show you. This is Wishbone Ash, Front Page News. Great Wishbone Ash. The 8th studio album by the band. Of course, a lovely crack in there, but I can get another case to fill that one up. Released in '77. Kind of a different album compared to, say, Argus or their other releases. Made up of slower rockin' tunes. I don't want to say softer songs. Less hard driving songs, maybe. But awesome harmonies in there. And it still rocks when it needs to rock. It really does. It hit number 31 on the charts in the UK. The title track is an amazing song. Midnight Dancer, a funky track. Goodbye Baby, Hello Friend. Kind of the band America has that feel to it. Surface to Wear, one of my favorites. Awesome harmonies. Slow rocker, but again, so good. Come In From the Rain, another great track with some great licks in it. Right or Wrong, some of the heavier tracks. So one of the heavier tracks on there, kind of a Molly Hatchet feel, and so on and so on, so on and so on and so on. Such a great album. It really is. And again, one of my hidden gems on this find. Speaking of departures, this is another departure for this one. This is TRex Tanks, TNX. Mark Bolan wanted to go on into a different direction on this one from his earlier sound. This is the 8th album since their debut of Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the 4th album is T-Rex, released in '73. He was into more soul and funk and gospel. Also, he incorporated female soul backing singers as well. More Mellotron in this one. And hit number 4 in the UK and number 3 in Germany. Flo and Eddie also sang backing vocals on this one. Overall, a great track. It's just completely different from his previous releases. But artists change, their vision changes, and that's what he did on this one. So I'm glad to find this one. I'm so happy to add this one to my collection as well. I was after watching uh, We Are We Are Brothers, I think it's called, by the band. After the third or fourth time I've watched it, I had to buy this one. Stage Fright, the band. Um, Such a great album. It's the third album by the band, and I've lost my notes again, as usual. Man, it's crazy. Here it is. Sorry, tell you I'm out of it. I'm stumbling my words. This is the third or fourth time I've done this video. So this one here. This has not only the original album, some bonus tracks, but it also has live at the Royal Albert Hall in 1971 on it, and 20 live tracks on that one. It's their third album by this Canadian-American iconic band, simply known as the band. The Shape I'm In and Stage Fright are two big singles off of this one, featuring two amazing vocalists, Richard Manuel and Rick Danko, two highly underrated vocalists. It's also an album about peace and escape and having a good time, underlying the fact that there's darkness in the band and they were going through some stuff. They were going through exhaustion and drugs and alcohol and unsureness, and but Robbie Robertson's lyrics took all that out of there. A lot of bands write about what they're going through at the time. He wanted to make it more of a jovial type of album. Some great tracks on this one. It's a concept album. Sorry, not a concept album. It's just an album about having fun and a good time and peace. Despite all what they were going through, the band played their best on this one. It peaked at number 5 and did better than their first two albums. Actually, the first one hit number 30 and number 9 on their second one. But all three albums together are just remarkable, and I just had to add that one to my collection. Stage Fright. I'll leave the last CD till later. So I'll talk about this one here. Picked up another Ghost album. This is on cherry red vinyl, and beautiful vinyl. I won't show you because it's just taking up too much time, but yeah, this is a brand new album, not in release, but brand new as far as purchase. It's the second album by the Swedish rock band Ghost BC, and Infest is I'm always going to mess up this song, album title. Infestism. Infestisumum. There you go. Infestisumum. 2013 released. Infestisumum is Latin for very or most hostile, or the biggest threat. In this case, the Antichrist. Won Best Heavy Metal Album of the Year in 2014's Grammy Awards. It's an album about the Antichrist's birth and onward, his growth throughout. Kind of parallel to Christ's birth and his path. It's about also the presence of the Antichrist in the present day life. Go figure. I mean, it's happening today. The band wanted to concentrate on not making each song sound the same like a lot of heavy metal albums do, and I'm not putting down heavy metal in any way, but a lot of heavy metal bands have that similar sound, and say 10 songs or whatever on an album. These guys wanted to make every song different and unique, and it's one of my favorite new bands. And I know they're not a new band, but one of my favorite new bands. It's really, really, really good. Previously, I had this one here, Meliora. Another great album. And they dropped the BC on this one just with Ghost. Another Grammy Award winner. This is more guitar driven than Infestus Human. Main theme of this album is the absence of God and the void you feel when there's no one to help you. Isn't that what's happening now? The title of the album means the presence of something better. So it's a search for something better. The world has become individual and not a collective, and there's no one to guide you, or in other ways, there's too much to guide you, too many distractions to guide you, so many influences, and people are lost without a cause or reason of being. It's pretty deep stuff. It really is, and it really reflects on today's life and what's happening. There's no one to guide you. You're just thinking for yourself. You're living for yourself. There's no, and the ones that guide you don't have the best path to follow, and it's really prevalent today. Both albums are, and that's what I like about this one. I'm not an Antichrist type of person, but if you take that aspect out of it, the meanings of these songs are just pretty friggin' deep. So that's my addition to Ghost. And then finally, I picked up some Jimmy. So we'll start off with this one here. This is The Cry of Love. This was on CD. Fantastic album. It's a compilation album released in 1971 after Jimmy's death, and it also includes new material he was working on for a planned fourth album. Platinum selling. There's a split down the middle of people thinking this is an actual album between critics and writers. They think it's an actual album or a true album, and the other half think it's a compilation album. I don't really care. I just think it's a great album. Even though the songs were put down and they were complete, they weren't necessarily finalized, and there was no way to tell which way Jimmy would have gone with these songs, whether they kept them the same, he made changes to them, and that's why I think people think it's a compilation album. As I said earlier, I don't really care either way. From start to finish, great album, and I'm glad I picked it up. I'm so happy I found it. Another reason I'm happy to find this one is it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous as far as an album. It's a double album. This is People, Hell, and Angels. Beautifully put together. Gorgeous booklet, colored booklet in this one. Another compilation album. And yeah, sounds good. double album. This is brand new, a fairly new release as well. I wouldn't say brand new release, but fairly new release. It's the fourth release under the Experience Hendrix deal with Legacy, the Legacy label. Has 12 unreleased tracks. Jimmy was working on following up the Electric Ladyland album. Features Billy Cox on bass, Buddy Miles on drums, Mitch Mitchell on drums. Stephen Stills also plays on this one. He plays bass on one of the tracks as well. Beautifully packaged. Gorgeous. I love that cover. That could almost be a poster type of thing, but it's beautiful. Beautifully packaged. And classic Jimmy. Left-handed guitar. I already had this one here. Are You Experienced? With that psychedelic cover. And one of my favorites. Debut album released in 1967. Hugely successful. This is the US version as well. Got Purple Haze, Manic Depression, Hey Joe, The Wind Cries Mary, Foxy Lady, and Are You Experienced? I mean, it's hard to follow up, but he did follow up with a great second album. And this is one I just picked up yesterday as well. Axis, Bold as Love. This is a great follow-up from that debut album. Second album released in '67. Top 10 album. And again, with big shoes to fill from his previous album. One of my favorites, Spanish Castle Magic, and Little Wing is on here as well. Jimmy wasn't too happy with the design of the album cover. He didn't really like it. But despite that, it hit platinum sales and was voted in the 147th of the top 1,000 albums of all time. And in 2020, Rolling Stones listed it at number 92 in their 500 greatest albums of all time. Of course, features Jimmy, Mitch Mitchell on drums, Noel Redding on bass. Graham Nash also sings backing vocals on this one, on the song You Got Me Floatin'. But what a great album. So happy to add that to my Jimmy collection. What do we got next? Another one I picked up. Another compilation album. This is First Rays of the New Rising Sun. Another double album. That green label. Released in 1970. Another concept album. With some of the songs that were on Cry of Love. But they're in different order as well. But it also features songs from the Rainbow Bridge and War Heroes as well. 17 tracks on the album. Billy Cox on bass, Mitch Mitchell on drums. The Ronettes are on here as well. Stevie Winwood on backing vocals. And Stephen Stills on piano on a couple of the tracks. But what a beautifully packaged album is this one as well. So, and a couple other ones that I picked up when my friend, I bought the albums off my friend Randy. This is part of the Hardem tapes out of Canada. This is Hackensack Blues. It's a live album by Jimmy. This one has Driving South, California Nights, Left Alone, Mr. Pitfall, which is an Otis Redding song, Bright Lights, Big City by Jimmy Reed, Get Out of My Life, Woman, My Fault and Stand By Me by Benny King. And cool. I don't know if you call it a bootleg, but this one as well. This is Free Spirit. Another one I got from Randy. It's on the Phoenix 10 label. This is on the Thunderbird label, which is part of Phoenix, or vice versa. It's got Hey Leroy, Free Spirit, Home of the Rising Sun, Something You Got, Let the Gods Sing, and She's a Fox. So some awesome stuff, lots of Jimmy to listen to, lots of additions to my discography. Yeah, it's all great stuff, and happy to be back. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. First couple of videos are probably going to be dicey and messy, and but glad to be here. Love you all, and take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.